One thing that went on through my life was learn, unlearn, and relearn throughout. I mean, I've been trying to do different courses, trying to understand different industries, trying to understand different people. But every moment you learn something, there is a moment to unlearn as well.
Today, every organization, mostly a lot of large organizations, are definitely prioritizing sustainability.
And this topic has been very close to my heart. For me, any decision has two parts of it. One is the risk-taking capacity of yours, how much risk you can take. That has to be based on your knowledge. So if you can assume a bar graph or a chart where you have a risk on the going upwards and the other side is your knowledge, your risk-taking capacity will tremendously increase with your knowledge.
I love it personally when women like you, Wonder Women like you, come on my episodes and share their beautiful journey with us. Hello, you're watching CIO News. I'm Khushbu Soni, the founder of CIO News. Today, I'm very excited to invite my guest. We have Rubal Sabharwal. She is a dynamic leader with 20 plus years of rich experience in the sector of shaping these industries like tech, finance, and social impact. She has rich experience around building solutions and business transformation in the space of AI as well as digital transformation. She's also a co-founder and a chief business strategist at Cloudboom, and she is a very enthusiast in building diversity and inclusion across her working environment. Thank you so much for joining me, Rubal, and I'm really excited to having this conversation. Thank you for joining on the Wonder Woman in Tech series of ours, and I'm looking forward to hear from your inspiring journey.
Well, thank you, Khushbu. Pleasure is all mine. I think I'm very excited as well to discuss all the details and all the stories with you.
Lovely. Rubal, if you can share to begin with, what has been your journey so far? You are a co-founder of Cloudboom, and I'm sure there is a backstory, right, that has led you to where you are today. Tell us about that story. Tell us about that journey.
Like you just mentioned, the story, we all talk in stories, and I think that fastest way to reach any human heart is the true stories. So I think we'll continue with talking about what my real journey has been. So I'll start from my background. I come from a very humble background. My father is a banker. He's a retired banker now. My mother is a housewife with 3 siblings. I've had a journey of learning. One thing that went on through my life was learn, unlearn, and relearn throughout. I mean, I've been trying to do different courses, trying to understand different industries, trying to understand different people. But every moment you learn something, there is a moment to unlearn as well. So that has happened throughout my journey. And after that, once I started working, 20 years of industry experience told me that you have to unlearn every moment and start something new every moment. In all this journey, I realized that somewhere something is missing. While I was in tech industry, I felt research is missing. When I was in research industry, I felt tech is missing. And when I was doing both, I felt that a way to implement it to the world is missing.
Correct.
Way to bring in the social impact is missing.
Yeah.
That is where I thought we should go with our own firm named Cloudboom. Cloudboom because everything is on cloud these days. That's why we said okay, it has to be on the cloud. That's how the name comes in. But our journey is more towards digital next. So that's what we are trying to achieve. When I say digital next, it means that some people start with the concept, some people conceptualize that and very better than others, very good than others, and some people implement it better than others.
Right.
We want concept to completion sort of a structure.
Right.
And that's what we want to deliver to the people outside. And at this stage, I will call ourselves Web 2.5. While industry is moving from 2 to 3, we call ourselves 2.5 because we want to stand in the middle to make sure that we are a bridge for you to kind of go across to Web 3.0. That's how we started Cloudboom. We really wanted to make that difference of concept to completion sort of a structure.
Rubal, you are also a sustainability advisor, and I understand you're working extensively on this. Tell us, your approach to sustainability. What's the thought behind that?
Okay, so let's understand sustainability. What is sustainability first? So we've been consuming from ages, right? And that is leading to a lot of climate change. Now, climate is, we all see that, there's a lot of pollution, we have breathing issues, asthmas are increasing, heart diseases, cancers are increasing. If we consume at this rate, we'll leave nothing for our next generations, right?
Yeah.
So when we talk about sustainability, it's about giving a sustainable future to our kids as well, where they can have fresh air to breathe, fresh food to eat. So that's what sustainability is all about. And this topic has been very close to my heart. Since childhood, we have seen sustainability as a part of our life. When we have 2 to 3 kids in the home, one kid is outgrowing clothes, other one is using them. But what has happened now is we have only one kid, so we buy him whatever they want, and it's endless purchases. While affordability has increased, that has also impacted the purchasing patterns. That has increased quite a bit, leading to a lot of carbon footprint that is increasing. My attempt is to make sure that we start decarbonizing as much as possible. You would have heard the recent news from PM Modi's side. There's a green hydrogen project.
Yes.
He's also trying to decarbonizing most of the industries. He's funding most of the industries to do that. So it's a very beautiful, I would say, journey if we start implementing on our own. We are recently launching a product also. So I'll be founding another company named Aurus, which is more into sustainability, where we are also asking investors to set up their green goals. They will fund only companies which will provide sustainable development goals. Okay. So while you achieve those, I think it becomes part of your life. Right? It's part of your journey to achieve those goals and deliver to the environment. And of course, when your investors and consumers and your stakeholders are watching, you would want to make sure that your marketing doesn't go off, your sales doesn't go off, and everyone look into it in a deeper way.
Definitely. I think today every organization, mostly a lot of large organizations, are definitely prioritizing sustainability, and I think this is a great start for even and I mean it takes a lot of effort. And I am wishing you all the best in what you're doing.
Thank you.
That is really fantastic. You have rich experience in technology and analytics as well, right? So tell us the journey to all the learnings that you've had, your key milestones, certain challenges as a woman, in this space. I mean, I still feel that there are not much of women in the tech space at the leadership level, right? And you are a co-founder of Cloudboom. Tell us that side of the angle as well.
Okay. So first of all, I would want to highlight this point that as women, we are privileged. Okay. We keep asking everyone for equality. We are not equal. We are privileged. We are better off. Reason for that is we can deliver child. We can endure pain, we can manage home, we can send kids to school, and then come to office and run companies. Name a man who can do it. I'm sure they can't. Barring few, of course. I don't want to disregard their hard work. But when we are so privileged, I think this is a continuous mindset that has been put in women's head that you can't achieve it. So overcoming your own mindset have been, I would say, the first step for me as well. That while you are excelling in colleges, schools, and all the places, the mindset that you are not at par with men, you should take care of other things versus the man is running the race, has been my first key step to a kind of or a milestone to achieve. And I would say a harsh learning, but I had to go through a very bad divorce to understand what my powers are. But that's what it is. And I would say a very extreme thanks to that person to give me that lesson of my life that, how powerful I am, what all I can achieve. Otherwise, I would have lived with that mindset. So that's the number one, I think, milestone that I had in my life. People generally take divorce as a, very bad part of the life. I would say it's a milestone where you learn. And every person you meet is a sort of part of your journey to teach you something. That gave me a lesson that stand on your own. Make sure that you lead your own way. So that's where we started with. And I think even before, if I have to give one example, I was in Punjab studying, and my parents insisted upon getting married. And I was getting job with Reuters. My parents said, If you get married, then
you can do whatever you want after marriage.
Yeah, please do whatever. Join the job, go to Bangalore, go to US, wherever you want to go. And I was like, okay, so wait. I think that was my first rebellious act. I didn't know whom I was getting married to. Okay. No background checks or anything. I'm sure parents would have done it, but I was like, okay, so wait. If this is the first step to my freedom, I will take that. So we have to have that leap of faith on ourselves to kind of jump onto the next journey. I think I have been being part of Cloudboom as a chief strategist have been my learning of life being implemented all together. I've been strategizing throughout my life for your studies to make sure that you get enough education for, like I just mentioned, my first job, strategize that, okay, whatever, even if it takes getting married, let it be. I would want to start my work. From there on, I think it's been a journey of understanding business thoroughly. And first few years, I think I took my mother's advice very seriously, that never stop learning.
Yeah.
So I always learned. And if you look at my LinkedIn profile, you would name the type of technology I would have done certification around it, right? Those days I've done MCST, SAS, SPSS, Apache, everything and anything named technology would be there on my profile. And I think that has been very powerful throughout, because that way I understood how technology works for the business, in favor of business, and help us make all those decisions.
Right.
While we were going through the journey further, what I realized is working in tech companies, I think I did mention that a bit around this, that decisions are based on our own data. What are we doing? What are we trying to achieve? What markets we want to serve? We don't look at how market is changing very rapidly. While we do that, or while we look into the reports, we miss the journey, we miss the past, because the report will be like, a few months old. While we look at that report, we take a decision for the future. That's not right. And that's another place where I thought that change in strategy required, where we look into the future first and then take decision. That's what we are doing in Cloudboom specifically. We're looking into future before we take a decision, peeping into future rather. Yeah. But what was happening was that I was learning on the go, and I think till my consulting gig, I was learning how both sides of strategy work. So for me, any decision has two parts of it. One is the risk-taking capacity of yours, how much risk you can take. That has to be based on your knowledge. So if you can assume a bar graph or a chart where you have a risk on the going upwards, and the other side is your knowledge, your risk-taking capacity will tremendously increase with your knowledge.
Correct.
So I would say that that learning on the go for 20 years gave me that kind of a capacity to take a risk with my life, to get into a startup and start things of my own. At the same time, looking at all the solutions that we were providing for people on the go, and even in consulting, actually that also gave me a lot of insight into how startups work. Because in consulting, we work for others, we figure out solutions for others, and that's when I thought, hey, if I'm sitting in a consulting doing it here for a certain number of money, I think I can go out, because I come with a very unique experience on the research side, on the market industry side, at the same time on the tech side. So I can use that experiences to my advantage. I would not say I was very logical when I was choosing my role. I would say universe has been very logical to give me different type of roles. I was given tech industry analytics, I was given brand analytics, pricing decisions. Then suddenly one fine day I landed myself in a merger acquisition sort of a role, where I was in Australia trying to get a merger done for one of my companies. So I would say it's the universe that planned everything for me. So I would not take the whole credit on its own, but I think it's the universe trying.
Yeah, and I think it also is your courage to take those risks and accept the opportunities that came your way, while also managing everything that's happening parallel in life, right? So I think that is very courageous of you, and
I agree. Actually, I on that side, that I do take risk, and I think I fall down quite a bit on that as well. But I think, hey, that's part of life. Failing is part of life. If I'll not fall down 3 times, I will not know how to take my next step. So so that gives you courage. The more you fall, the more you know how not to fall.
Right.
And I have a son. I would say he has been a support as well. Every time I fall down and say, hey, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore, he'll say, come on, mom, you're better than that. You can do better. And when you look at your future or your children, you don't want to give them a bad example. You want to tell them that, hey, your mom can do it. So please make sure that you treat, as a man, you treat other women right, so as they can also do it. You also become their strength.
Yeah. Lovely. So, fail fast, learn fast is the mantra. Okay, lovely. You mentioned about creating a $1 billion economic opportunities for women as one of your key focuses as well.
Yeah.
Can you elaborate a little bit more on that?
Sure. I think from last 20 years, I said that work has been my priority in all aspects. So I've been seeing different women in different journey. I've been seeing how women struggle to come out of their own shell. While I was working with women in cloud, I realized that, hey, there's a lot of opportunity. There are a lot of women who really want to grow, who are looking up to someone. They need a mentor. They need someone to talk through the journey, tell them what will fail, what will not fail, at least give a shoulder to cry if nothing is working out. So that's where I think I started thinking around this area. Now, what I have done now is the first step was be a brand ambassador with Women in Cloud, saying that, hey, if I can do it, you can also do it. I really wanted to tell people that coming from a humble background like myself, I am a Punjab Technical University graduate, right? So not a big university to name on your profile or something. But at the same time, I'm open to accept it. I'm open to say that, hey, you know what, there's no harm coming from any background till you make sure that you're strong enough to capture the essence of yourself and grow. And that's what I wanted to pass on to women, that it's okay, failures will come, divorces will happen, relationships will go away. If you want to achieve something, just keep your eyes open and look for opportunities. So 2-3 things that I do around it is, one is mentoring women. So there's an organization called Narayana's Bharat, where I actually talk to women who are small business owners who want to sell their products in countries like India, Australia and other places. And they also want to expand their business in cities like Bombay and Bangalore, and they don't have opportunity. While we are so connected with different people, so I go to different stores wherever I'm shopping. I generally promote them. I'll say, you know what, why don't you just try those products? Why don't you just take their jute bags, give them the order? So that's how we are trying to do it. While I'm trying to do this part of relationships and using the relationship in their favor, I would not call it using, I would say leveraging them. The right word is leveraging them for the benefit of the women. I'm also trying to talk to a couple of companies like Kindle, PwC and others, where they can bring in some funds for these women who can grow further. So that's where we stand for now. I mean, I'm still building the whole strategy around it, how will I provide them that kind of economy. But my goal is to make sure that I mentor them in the right direction. Just because the money is flowing in doesn't mean that you can grab the money and do anything about it. You have to make sure that you use money in the right direction. Right. So that's again a sustainable growth, I would say. Otherwise, your money will go away and then companies will not give after a certain point.
Lovely.
Yeah.
If you can also maybe tell us a little bit about Cloudboom as an organization.
Okay. See, we are a 3-year-old company. Once I left my job with BCG, I thought, I should start something of my own. And through a couple of friends, I met this person and we instantly became friends. And I was very skeptical initially for startups. So I said, I will take a consulting role. I'll come for 6 months and see if it works out for me to be a startup. And he said, yeah, just try it out. If it works for you, then we'll take it forward. So we tried, and it was amazing actually. I mean, you were your own CEO, you were your own peon, you were your own cleaners, and you were doing everything on your own. So that's how we started, and we started building vision on the go. Said this is what we're trying to achieve, what is happening in the market. So we started with a couple of projects which are around insurance. We worked with Alliance Insurance, and we also worked, like we're now working with United and stuff. So we're working with different companies. Our work areas is more around technical solutions, where we take our business partners like Veeam, we are talking to NextGen now. We are also talking to a couple of other firms which I would not name for now, to make sure that they're part of our journey, and then we deliver them on the go as a solution, not like, we will provide you with the platform, but you would need an IBM laptop, but you need someone else's server, but you need someone else's technology to implement it. So we're trying to create a complete ecosystem for them where they can implement everything to make it easy journey for them. We work in areas like banking, finance, edtech is one of the areas. We have our own LMS, learning management system, and learning experience system is what we call it. It's kind of help you understand your team goals, how do you want to achieve it, more or less a micro-learning sort of environment, because we believe that people don't have capacity to learn now because they are so engrossed in their phones and laptops and everywhere, but they would need that kind of a short bits and bytes to keep learning. Otherwise, they don't absorb much. So that's another work that we are doing. I did mention about another firm that we'll be launching soon on sustainability, auras. So I think these 3 years have been heck of a journey. We've been doing work almost around in 6 industries for now, including retail. We're trying to get into government, and so if you have any government contacts, we are happy to look into it. Yes, but yeah, we're just trying to be in at least 6 industries for now and a couple of solutions.
Lovely. You promote diversity and inclusion extensively.
Yeah.
What are the, how are you driving it in Cloudboom? How are you currently, channelizing the diversity and inclusion in the company?
Okay, that's also, by the way, part of an ESG, environment, social and governance part of the story. I'm actually very pro women from that perspective, that we need to just give them a push. They are strong enough to build their own career. Just give them a push and they'll stand on their own. So, while we are hiring, I generally try to make sure that we have enough number of women profiles coming in. Not to be partial to men, but at the same time, I want to give equal opportunity to women. In fact, I try to go to smaller towns and for example, Chandigarh, Bhopal, and Indore maybe. If women are okay to come to Bangalore, and I think I have gone to a level where kids would have cleared their interviews and say, hey, why don't you talk to my mom and please ask her to allow me to move.
Yeah.
So we've done that. So I have a zero tolerance policy in my office, especially for sexual harassment. While these kids come from different places, they look for a secure environment in office.
Yeah.
And we don't know when we speak how it hurt others. People from vivid background kind of interpret everything very differently. So posh is one area which I'm very serious about. I don't have a tolerance around that. If you are putting down anyone, be it a man or woman, I would not tolerate that. And I think I have taken strong actions around it. In fact, me taking up step towards posh and sexuality and all these areas have made sure my team starts speaking about it. So the kids have also gone to a level where they know what is wrong, what is right. Wherever they have to stop the other person, they kind of stand up and say, hey, you know what, you are now jumping across the line. And it's very important. I think we should actually teach this our daughters from the day one, boundaries.
Yeah.
While you are growing, while you are reaching all the corporate ladders, make sure that you have your boundaries and no one is able to kind of put you down or take your crown away.
Correct. Lovely. I think with what you've been doing as a co-founder of Cloudboom, your vision for sustainability, your vision for creating billion-dollar economy for women, and parallelly focusing on creating diversity and inclusion in the company, also focusing on catering the customers as well as partners and employees. You're doing a fab work, and I think this has been really inspiring, and I love it personally when women like you, Wonder Women like you, come on my episodes and share their beautiful journey with us, which I'm sure is inspiring to many. One last piece of advice that you would like to give to women who is trying to seek leadership roles in the tech sector. Right? Any piece of advice that you'd like to give?
I would just say shine on. You, as I just said at the start, that we are privileged.
Yeah.
Right. So use your privilege in your favor. Don't let anyone come and tell you that you're powerless. Hey, listen to your husband, listen to your dad. No, listen to your heart and figure your way out. Strategize about how you want to grow.
Yeah.
As women, we have that mental capacity to grow. So don't let anyone come and tell you that you can't do this. So do it whatever you like to do it. So rock it, enjoy it, whatever you're doing.
Awesome. This was excellent. Thank you so much, Rubal, for joining me on Wonder Women in Tech, and keep inspiring.
Thank you very much.